life insurance will never be more affordable than it is right now in your life. Tomorrow, it's going to be more expensive. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. But we need to convey that to our customers in a way that doesn't involve us shaking them and going, this is the most affordable it will ever be in your entire life. Instead, we're going to teach you how to overcome the objection.
In a professional way.
In a professional way.
Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. We are your hosts, Michael and Courtney Weaver, and today is part of our 4-part series of overcoming life insurance objections that you hear on the daily. And today we are going to be talking about, it's just not in the budget. I can't afford it. It's a little bit more than I was hoping for.
Money is tight, baby.
Money's tight.
We're going to be talking about the price objection. Dun, dun, dun. When we were preparing for this, we were kind of just having our own conversation around the frustration around this objection because we've been in this industry for 15 years. And the thing that I always think about when my birthday comes around is how my life insurance just went up. And I hate this objection because we understand as insurance professionals that life insurance will never be more affordable than it is right now in your life. Tomorrow, it's going to be more expensive. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. But we need to convey that to our customers in a way that doesn't involve us shaking them and going, this is the most affordable it will ever be in your entire life. You have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. You could be diagnosed with something that makes you ineligible. Instead, we're going to teach you how to overcome the objection. Okay.
In a professional way.
In a professional way. Even though that's...
Hey, all right. So AAA method.
Okay.
Agree. I'm with you. I'm with you. I know it's a little bit more than you're hoping for. I get that money's tight. All right.
Agree.
Address and assume. So here we go. I like the 1 to 10 close with this one as well. Doesn't matter. It really does not matter. And any of these objections you're hearing in the 4-part series of overcoming objections, the 1 to 10 close is a really good one because it's going to help you gauge where the customer's at. Yeah. So here we go. Courtney says, this has all been great, but money's tight.
It's just more expensive than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I just don't think I can afford it.
I don't think it's in the budget.
Courtney, I'm with you. I get that money's tight. I get that it's not necessarily in your budget right now. But I have a quick question for you. On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being that you have zero interest in what we talked about today, 10 being you are totally on board and understand that you need this protection for your family, where are you at on that scale?
7.
You're a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney, I'm glad that we're on the same page. That's a really high score. And I also understand that time is important and that you believe that this plan is important for your family. So let's go ahead and just take time out of the equation and get the application done so we can apply for life insurance. What's the legal spelling of your first and last name?
Nice.
Nice.
I like how I want to make sure that I draw emphasis when he started to go in and have the conversation of on a scale of 1 to 10, did you notice he drops his tonality? So he's no longer up here, he's dropping it going.
I'm no longer training. Yeah. I'm now having a conversation with
a human being. Yeah, we're not educating. We're having a conversation of on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yep.
Just like if you were sitting with your buddies in the garage watching a football game on a Sunday, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at here?
Yep. And you answered a 7, which is a very common score. I would say 7 is what you're going to hear 80 to 90% of the time. Mm-hmm. Like anything more than a 7, they're like, let's go.
Yeah.
And anything less than a 7, you just don't hear that often. So it's usually somewhere between that 7, 8 range. So that's why like the 7 is my benchmark of if they give me a 7 or higher, I'm just going to say, hey, that's a really high score. I'm glad we're on the same page. Let's just take time out of the equation and get this going. Just need the legal spelling of your first and last name for the application. Or, hey, I just need the Visa, MasterCard, or Amex, however you're paying for this.
Okay. So I object again.
You object again. What are you going to say?
I'm going to say, this all sounds really good, but it's still pretty expensive.
Courtney, I'm totally with you, and I understand that it's still very expensive. And we had a great conversation today, and I appreciate you having this conversation with me. So the one question I have for you, Courtney, is while I understand the $100 a month is tough, and I understand that it's not currently in your budget. My question that I have for you is if you did pass away today unexpectedly and your family is no longer receiving your $6,000 a month in income coming into the household, if the $100 a month is tough now, what's it going to look like without that $6,000 a month?
It's still pretty expensive. I don't know. I'm going to give you another objection because I'm going to move on from price and say, I just need to think about it.
Which may be the true objection. I don't know. But I don't want to skip over that just real fast before we move on in the conversation. So what I just asked there, that is my go-to every single time I hear the budget. Anytime I hear the money objection in life insurance, I'm always going to try the 1 to 10 first, because you will be surprised of how many people just need a little bit more. Just, hey, let's just assume it one more time. But when they come back with the money objection again, this is what I say every single time. Courtney, I'm with you. I understand the $100 seems like a lot right now. My question for you is, though, if the $100 is a lot, what is your family going to do without your paycheck every single month if you can't afford the $100 now? That is my go-to every single time. In which you said, I still have to think about it. Courtney, I'm with you. Totally understand that you need to think about it and look at your budget. Before we schedule a follow-up time, I just want to ask you, what is there that you have questions about? Because it sounds like you still have questions, because that's why most people need to think about it. And I want to apologize for not giving you enough information so that you could make a decision today. So what questions do you have so I can answer those so you can make a decision?
Oh, that's so good. So good. I don't have any.
I'm going to put it back on myself always.
Yeah.
I apologize that I didn't give you enough information today to be able to make a decision. What questions do you have for me that I need to clarify for you so that you have the ability to make a decision, whether it's right or wrong for you?
And you're not reselling.
No.
And you're not telling.
You're in the close, baby.
You're in the close.
Yep.
So we're not reselling, and we're not telling them why they should buy life insurance, even if they've told me that they need to think about it or that it's too expensive. You're asking questions.
Yep.
You're making them sit in that emotion of, you were the one who said that this was important to you.
Yep.
Tell me more about that.
And I get silent if you pay attention. Like if you see that, like I ask the question, I just stay silent. I end the question and I'm just like waiting for the answer very patiently, because it can be uncomfortable. It can be uncomfortable, especially if you're across the desk from somebody. On the phone, a little different, but across the desk from somebody, this gets a little uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable because you're sitting, and we like to fill silence.
Yeah.
We don't want that silent gap. Sit there and wait.
Yes, because in sales, the first person to talk loses. So ask a question and just sit there as long as you need to while the customer or prospects processes what you just asked them, because that's what they're doing. That's why they're silent. They're processing. They have to figure out how exactly they're going to answer this question. So let's just pretend, though, that Courtney, because you will hear this a lot. This conversation has happened hundreds of times, if not thousands, for me, where you have a great conversation. You do the 1 to 10, you do the budget. I need to think about it. Well, what question? I don't really have any questions. I just need to think about it, and I need to go look at the budget, is what they typically are going to come back at. I understand, Michael. I'm with you. Great. I'm still going to go for it one more time. So here's the next one I'm doing. Courtney, great. Let's go ahead and put a time on the calendar tomorrow. Look, 48-hour rule here. You never are going to extend the follow-up for more than 2 days out. So I like to always get it within 24. Courtney, when is a good time tomorrow to put on the calendar to give you a call and see what you decided to do?
Tomorrow at 2.
Tomorrow at 2. Perfect. So, Courtney, I'll plan on giving you a call tomorrow at 2. Is there any reason why you won't be able to make that appointment?
No.
Okay. Let's say for some reason something comes up in the day, because we know how life happens. What other time during the day can I have permission to give you a call in case you missed the 2 o'clock call?
5:30.
5:30. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to mark you down at 2 and 5:30. Hopefully we can connect at 2. If not, no big deal. I'll call you at 5:30. Courtney, the last thing I want to tell you is, number one, I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity today. I enjoyed our conversation. I also want to go ahead and give you permission to tell me no. Because most people in your situation, they already know whether the answer is yes or no. And what I've found in working with hundreds of individuals just like you is sometimes you're afraid to tell me no because you're either going to hurt my feelings or whatever you may be thinking. And so I want to give you full permission to be like, Michael, this was a great conversation. This just isn't for me right now. Now, on the flip side of that, I want to give you permission to tell me yes as well, to where if we're on the same page, let's just go ahead because time is super important. All I would need is the legal spelling of your first and last name if you want to go ahead and get this going. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. Let's go.
I was going to say bingo, bongo,
You
bango.
see how professional that is? And I'm putting it back on me. Like, tell me no. Like, I'm giving you full permission to tell me no.
I have so many notes because, number one, the 48-hour rule is golden.
Mm-hmm.
Do not let your follow-up get too far away. They don't care. They're gonna move on with their life. You confirmed, you qualified the lead.
Oh, yeah.
Again, you qualified the follow-up at 2. You gave me another time that I had to confirm. And you said, is there any reason that if I call you at this time, you're not going to, like, you're making them like, I'm going to make you really tell me no here because this is something that you're interested in.
Yeah, I just want to know yes or no. Like, we're doing this, we're not doing this. Like, either way, we had a great conversation, and if now's not the right time, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, that is totally fine. Like, if it's a no, that's okay, and they need to know that. That's why I love the permission to say no close. I love the permission to say no because you're giving them permission to tell you no. You will be amazed at how many people, because no salesperson in the world has ever told them that it's okay to tell them no. They instantly are like, did you just say it's okay to tell you no? Like, their guard drops. You tried to close them in a very professional but very like non-abrasive way, you know? It's just like, you can tell me no, you can tell me yes. If the answer is no, cool. If the answer is yes, all I need is the legal spelling of your first and last name. Let's do this. That is how you overcome the price objection.
Money.
Yeah. That's how you overcome just about any objection, but the price objection, there we go. So I would love to know what you thought about today's episode. Let me know, 816-727-7610. Use this the next time you hear, it's just not in the budget. Money's tight right now. Other than that, we appreciate you. As always, time and attention are by far our most important assets, and we appreciate you spending time with us today on The Buzz. Go out and make it great.